Okay, I figured I would try this again because I know for a fact there are some things that I probably left out when I previous tried to do this video. Okay, first off, if someone is threatening you, trying to hurt you, being verbally abusive on a level that you know is escalating into violence, somebody's flat out stalking you, what I want to tell you here is that you need to get help. You need to go and make sure that the proper people know exactly who is trying to do those things to you, what they've actually done, when they did it, and how they went about it. The reason why I'm telling you this is because it's been put on my heart, and I've had conversations with people, and because I am on YouTube, I figured that it would be in my best interest as well to actually talk about my experience with this type of a situation and just put it out there. In my lifetime, I've experienced things such as stalking or harassment, or I've had somebody flat out physically do violence. And as someone who survived that type of thing, I'm just letting you know it's not your fault. When somebody else chooses to do something like that to you, that is their choice to do that. You didn't ask for it. And regardless of how much this person might try to isolate you, especially if it's somebody that's in your life, like a husband, significant other, or a close family member, or something to that degree, because I know that there are other people who have experienced that, as well as a stranger, it's not your fault. No matter how much they try to put it off on you, their bad behavior is on them. That's not on you. So, that being said, I've been in a situation in which I had somebody stalking me in my hometown, taking photos of me, doing that whole paparazzi type of a thing, but it became somewhat more sinister or stalker ish when they started sending me pictures of them taking pictures of me while I was just out at a park that I really liked, and I never saw them when they were doing that. And it's very creepy, it's very scary, and it's unwanted in that regard. If you, I mean, it would have been less creepy had the person actually walked up to me and said, "Hey, can I take a picture of you?" or something like that. But you could tell from the angles that this person was taking pictures of me that they clearly were trying to go out their way not to be seen. They didn't want me to know that they were doing it, and they got some type of a thrill out of the fact that they were taking pictures of me without me knowing. Um, so much so that they got emboldened enough to contact me about it. Now, that being said, the same individual is believed was also going out of their way to try to defame me or say really hurtful things about me, or go in my comment section on YouTube and things like that when they couldn't get access, or I would block certain accounts. And that type of a situation is not very pleasant to have to deal with, or even have to fathom dealing with in that to that degree when it's somebody stalking you that you don't know. But in light of the fact that I've been in a situation in which I actually had somebody that I knew after that doing the same type of a situation, and to the extent that they were changing their Facebook picture to pictures of me, and they were going around telling everybody that I belong to them and all kinds of stuff, or they belong to me, and they basically got seen by a police officer assaulting me in my own car. Like, there is a list of things that this particular person that I knew did that took on a whole nother level of this is not okay when it comes to somebody abusing their so-called free speech in a way that's not how that's supposed to be used. Um, your free speech does not include you putting your hands on me, or coming to a place that you know that I'm living at and trying to provoke a fight with people that I know, or with me, or trying to verbally or physically abuse me, or try to cyberbully me on the internet. All of these things are unwanted behavior. And when you're in a position that you actually have to physically and verbally put it out there in the ether, that you have to go to court and actually tell people this is what this person did, this is why I don't feel safe around them, this is why I don't want them around me, this is why I don't want them around my family. This is a real situation in which this isn't just because somebody doesn't want to deal with you. This is because you've hurt someone and they don't want anything to do with you. Or in the other situation, this is someone you don't even know that's trying to force themselves into your life in a way that you don't want anything to do with. Now, it's one thing, and I've seen this happen too, where is and some people get back together or whatever. It's an ex boyfriend or ex husband. Yeah, that's a thing. Who's stalking their spouse, or the other way around, the woman stalking stalking a person. Um, and in some of those cases, the people get back together. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the person assaulted you, the person's threatening to assault you. You don't want nothing to do with this person. This person's doing hurtful things. They're damaging your property. You basically should you basically should make sure that you tell the appropriate people that you're having a problem like that for your own personal safety, because it's not safe to have someone doing that type of behavior, especially if it's causing you harm, mentally, physically, and emotionally. That's just not okay. You shouldn't have to live in fear of another human being, especially when you've made it clear you don't want anything to do with them. So, as I'm trying to actually say this, I'm being 100% with this. If someone is physically assaulting you and they're trying to isolate you from your family, your friends, anybody who would actually speak out and try to let you know, hey, this isn't okay, you legitimately you need to get help, because this person, if they're capable of hurting you and then at the same time telling you that they care about you, what else do you think that they're going to do? Like, there are videos and TV shows and there's movies based off of this type of behavior. It is very real. And the reason why I'm making this video is because there are so many people who sit in silence and don't say anything about this. They'll just think, oh, they're just acting silly, they're just crazy, they just were drinking, or they were just high, or make all the excuses under the sun for someone hitting them, calling them out their name, breaking the windows out the car, flattening his tires, a list of crazy things, anything that anyone else around them, if they had the support system to see that this person was doing that and get them help. So if you're watching this video and you are someone, you got the abusive significant other, you got the abusive family member, you got that abusive coworker, whoever it is, I don't care who it is. If you have that situation going on with you and it's 100% legitimately real, you need to tell someone who can help you so that you do not get hurt. I'm not joking, because there are so many people, so many beautiful people whose lives got cut short because they did not pay attention to the fact that they had a crazy person forcing their way into their life. And in my personal experience, I had to cut people off because I had somebody that I thought was my friend, and due to the way that my upbringing was, I did not have a huge amount of family or that type of background system to the same extent. So I tried to keep those bonds or those friendships and treat those people like they was family. But I ended up in a situation more than once in which someone tried to take advantage of my kindness, or me being somewhat naive, or me being too open and too giving. And they would start saying threatening things to me about how if I stopped being their friend, they would kill themselves and all this other stuff. And at that point, I realized that's a hostage situation. That's not a loving situation. That is a hostage situation. And oftentimes, these people, when they do stuff like this, it'll start off really nice, really happy, almost too good to be true. And it's hard after you've built up that rapport with somebody to actually start putting into your head, this person is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This person is pretending to be one way and they having issues and they can hurt me. Just like that. So at the end of the day, if you know for a fact that deep down you wouldn't want to leave a kid or somebody alone with that person, why are you around them? Why are you placing yourself in that situation where you do not have to be in that situation, unsafe, afraid, scared of someone who does not have to be in your life? And I'm saying this not because I'm judging or any of that other stuff, because I've been there myself. A lot of times, these people, they will prey on the fact that you don't say something, and they get bolder and bolder and bolder in whatever it is that they want to do. So at the end of the day, I mean this, I really do. If you feel afraid, you know this person can harm you, tell people that care about you. And if you're one of those people that stay to yourself and you don't have that friends and family or whatever, I'm pretty sure if you tell somebody who cares about you, go to your HR, go to the police station, there's someone who can steer you in the right direction so that you do not end up another statistic because you just wanted to think the better of someone else. There are so many TV shows and things out there that are based on real situations of people dying because they did not tell people that this was happening to them. Also, in my case, I can say it from both ends of this. The random paparazzi like stalker person, that was creepy enough as it is by itself, but at that, to some degree, I kept on thinking, hey, this person can't hurt me because they're just over the internet or something like that. And then my whole world changed when I started receiving photographs with this person not that far away from me while I'm trying to do my jogging, while I'm trying to go do my groceries. This person is taking photos of me in positions around the corner of an aisle and things like that. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't think I've seen this person, but I obviously had to walk past them or be around this person, and they're stalking me. So that's something that oftentimes people don't really think about that very much. But my whole world changed once I realized, to that degree. Like, it's one thing to grow up in a city where people say, "Hey, girl, yo, what's up? Hey, yeah," all this other. They try to catcall you and stuff like that. It's a whole nother thing when you come from a situation in which somebody's already abused you, somebody's already hurt you, and you're already aware that people can be a mess or people can be monstrous. But to have that situation become even more personal, where somebody that you let into your household, they hurt you, you ask them to leave, and for years after that, even after you go into court to try to get help, this person still tries to find indirect ways of trying to hurt you. You need to speak up. You need to say something because people can be very crazy. The wonderful thing is, not everyone in this world is like that. And that is the beautiful thing that keeps me going. The fact that there are still beautiful, wonderful people in this world, and not everyone is like these people who feel entitled to being able to hurt you. Um, and at the end of the day, there's a thing called common sense. If you are someone who's not all that great with people, and maybe and I actually thought about this from a different perspective, and this is when I was a little bit more naive. I was like, oh, maybe that's a little bit flattering. The person might have been too shy to speak to me, or they might have just not had the courage to speak to me. They're a photographer or something, and they're just taking pictures of me, until I got fully introduced to the other end of this. Person is taking photos of me, selling them on the internet, talking about how they were this close that they could do this or that and the other or the third to me, and I was oblivious. That's not something that I think a normal individual would want to inflict upon another person. That you legitimately want to hurt someone, or you're working yourself up to hurting someone, and you get so worked up that you want to share it with them, that you want to do that. Like, what type of reaction do you think you're going to get if you randomly go up to a girl on the internet and tell her that you want to peel her fingernails off and wear them as your own? I don't think you get a happy response about that, because trust and believe that was one of the more awkward and creepy and scary moments of my life, because that actually happened to me. And it's taken quite a bit for me to actually talk about that type of a thing because I don't want to dwell on that type of negative behavior or that scary side of the world, but it actually is a real thing. So I mean this with all my heart. If you are in that position that you know for a fact you got somebody who is wishing you harm, that you go get help. You at least make sure people know everything that you know about that person or individual or that situation so that's on public record so that you are a little bit more safe in that situation. So that if something even remotely tries to come up, which I sincerely hope that it doesn't, that you're protected in that situation. Because so many times I know I'm guilty of this. I want to think the best of people. And what I've learned through my research is that's the type of person that they look for. The person that won't be thinking the worst of someone. The person that is going about their business, doing their usual routine, minding their business, and just not having a care in the world. So I've learned through this situation to be way more observant, way more diligent in paying attention to who's around me and who I deal with because life is fleeting. You really don't, there's a list of things we really don't know about life. And to be honest with you, I don't want to lose my life in a situation that could have been prevented if I just said something. And I don't want to see someone else lose their life because they were too afraid to actually tell someone because they thought it was silly or they thought maybe they were being paranoid or something. Honestly, I believe you. I've been there myself. And there are some behaviors that are not something that you just have to put up with. And there are so many other people on this planet who very much would appreciate you still being here and who would very much appreciate having a chance to meet you and who would very much appreciate you for who you are in that situation where you might be that person who has someone in your life who acts like you can't have any friends, you can't be around anyone, they're very possessive, they're abusing. You don't have to live that way. Life is too valuable to actually live in that kind of fear. So I hope that this helps even if it's just one person. Please do yourself a favor and protect yourself in those situations and pay attention because some people can be very crazy. They legitimately can. So there's just get help. Just go and tell someone. Okay? Like just tell someone because there's no reason why anyone should live in the fear of someone hurting them just because they said the word no. So I hope everybody's doing good, staying blessed and feeling well. Feel free to comment below. Let me know what you think about this type of a situation. If you've dealt with this type of situation, I'm pretty sure I probably might have left something out in this. But at the end of the day, what I want you to take away from this is you don't have to live in fear. There are people out there who will help you. So I hope everybody's doing good, staying blessed and feeling well. And I will see you all next time. Bye.